Hey, so the question came, and I'm going to answer. What attitudes need to be transmuted to bring about anarchy? And it's a really good question. Um, and a lot of it has to do with why we changed from anarchy to alchemy. If you go to any anarchist group right now, when you look at their ideas, they have this incredibly rigid, solid set of ideas, especially the ANCAPs. They believe that reality itself is an absolute eternal state, inchangeable, objective, and fully knowable. And as a consequence, they believe that they know everything about reality and have used that to build a framework for their perfect anarchy. And I think that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. I think that that attitude is, I mean, one of the things I remember from the Liberty days is how often you would hear somebody say, anarchy isn't about no rules. It most fucking certainly is about no rules. It literally means no rulers, and you cannot have rules without a ruler. Without somebody to enforce the rules, without some kind of codes to enforce the rules, without something rigid to enforce those rules, then they're pointless. So anarchy really does mean no rules. And for me, it's pretty hard to come about seeing, to understanding how we live as human beings and interact as human beings without rules. When you believe that the truth about existence is that it is itself eternal and absolute as it is, that it has hard and fast rules. There's really no reason to believe that at all. Even recently, things in science like constants seem to be changing, and it's happening so much that it's they don't think it's an instrument problem anymore. They don't think that they're measuring it wrong. The idea is growing that some of these things that we thought were constant, like the speed of light, gravity, whatnot, are not actually constant. They do change. But many anarchists will appeal to science and this idea of a universe that has specific rules and laws, but that appeal is empty. That the universe with specific rules and laws doesn't exist, and if it does, it's wholly unknowable to us. It's wholly unknowable to us because we can only experience anything outside of our own minds subjectively. Even if I was experiencing something that was objective, an objective truth, whatnot, it would be filtered through my own subjective perceptions of consciousness, and therefore it would no longer be reliably objective. So that's another reason the entire myth of hard and fast universe and reality is just absolutely fails. All of these ideas taken together are most often called materialism. And so I think that adopting non-material ideas, philosophical non-materialism, I'll explain that really quick. A lot of people think materialism means somebody likes to buy lots of stuff and consume. Philosophical materialism is not that, although it does sort of lead to that. But philosophical materialism is the idea that the entire universe and all of reality is primarily matter, in which things like consciousness and experience arise only kind of accidentally out of complexity when matter interacts with other matter. I'm on the other side of that. I think that consciousness is primary to the universe, and that matter is the narrative device that consciousness uses so that we can interact. And whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't really. Nobody's answered this. You haven't answered this, and I haven't answered this. Ontologically, it's an open question. Epistemologically, which of those worldviews suits me more? Am I better off in a world in which I believe that everything is hard and fast and a rule and inescapable and that I'm bound to it? Or am I better off believing that there's a world that um, is generated through ideas and consciousness and belief that I can directly affect and change for the better? I definitely think it's the latter. I definitely think that's the better choice, and so that's what I'm going to do. And you know, there's really no failing. I mean, if I fail, what happens? I mean, if I'm bound by these hard and fast rules that the materialists believe in, then it doesn't really matter. You know, like but if I'm successful, then it makes all of the difference. So it's a bit like Pascal's wager, but with a nature of reality. So I guess to cap this, what needs to change for an attitude of anarchy is we need to adopt non-materialist ideologies. Because as long as we go on believing that there is a external reality which is absolute, then we are going to continue to seek out other absolutes to bind ourselves, and we will never escape rulers. We will never escape rules, and we will never escape authority. Authority is predicated on the idea that there are absolutes in existence and that we should be made to obey them. If they were absolutes, you wouldn't have to be made to obey them. Sounds pretty easy, right? Have a good day.